What's going on, guys? I thought I would come back and do another live lesson. We'll see who shows up. But today I want to do one of the posts that I put up a while ago, which was 11 commonly used cow idioms. So idioms about cows, about bulls, about heifers, about that kind of livestock. You know what I'm talking about, cows. So we'll go through all 11 of these. I will talk about the figurative meanings, the literal meanings. I might go through the origins of these expressions as well. Talk about whether or not I use these quite often. And then obviously we can open it up to a Q&A session. So a session where you guys can ask me about these different expressions that I'll go over. And you'll also be able to ask me any other questions regarding English. So let's start. The first expression, to have a cow. To have a cow. This means to become angry, to become agitated, to become worried or upset, and it's often said in the negative form of don't have a cow. Don't have a cow, man. Don't have a cow. And you will have heard this on The Simpsons from Bart Simpson if you watch The Simpsons. Don't have a cow, man. Don't have a cow. So don't have a cow has the figurative meaning of don't be angry, don't get upset, don't have a cow. So if someone, maybe I was at home fighting with someone and they were getting upset about something that I'd done, if I wanted to say to them, don't get upset, just calm down, chill out, I can say, don't have a cow. Don't have a cow. The literal meaning, apparently, it's uncertain where this comes from, but it was first seen in a Texan newspaper in the early or mid to late 1950s, so in the US, in the state of Texas, and it's linked to the British idiom, don't have kittens, so don't give birth to kittens. So obviously if someone's really upset in this old expression, don't have kittens, it's linked to that. But yeah, I probably wouldn't use this that much. I have heard it quite a bit, and as I said, I've seen it on the TV show The Simpsons. Don't have a cow. Don't get upset, it's not a big deal, calm down, don't have a cow. Number 2, to take the bull by the horns. To take the bull by the horns. So literally to grab the bull by the horns. You might have heard this recently on the podcast. I think this was one that I did within the last month. To grab the bull by the horns or to take the bull by the horns is to control the bull using its horns. So the figurative meaning is to face and grapple with difficulty without avoiding it. So if you grab the bull by the horns, it means you go straight for the problem. You go straight in to solve the problem. You try and deal with it straight away. You don't avoid the situation. You don't run away. You don't, bugger off. You don't disappear. You tackle it. You grab the bull by the horns. The idiom is thought to date back to the American West, where it was common for cowboys, so the guys who had to deal with cows, to wrestle with bulls or to wrestle with small baby cows, and in order to control them, they would use the horns to control these bulls. So to take the bull by the horns is to face or grapple with a difficult situation without avoiding it, to take the bull by the horns. So number 3, number 3, till the cows come home. Till the cows come home. Usually this would be used in doing something until the cows come home. So screaming, running, yelling, could be anything, but until the cows come home. So the figurative meaning of to do something until the cows come home is for a long but undefined amount of time. So to do something for a very, very long period of time. The literal meaning dates back to at least the 1830s, maybe even earlier, and it refers to the slow and unhurried pace at which cows would sort of slowly come into the farm. So it would obviously take quite a while, so you would do something until the cows come home. It's sort of like the cows slowly coming home. It takes a very long time. I think I would use this most commonly if, say, my dad was talking about something just on and on, talking about this thing all the time. So if he was, say, really excited about his football team, I could say, he talks about footy until the cows come home. So he does this for a very, very long period of time. He talks about it until the cows come home. Number 4, like a bull in a china shop, or like a bull in a china store. A china store or a china shop is a shop that actually has cabinets like these full of china. China as in like plates, cups, cutlery, and that sort of stuff that you would eat. More not cutlery, but plates and cups made from china. And so if there's a bull in a china shop or in a china store, you would imagine the bull is going to do quite a bit of damage. It's going to move around, push these over full of china, and smash the place up. So the figurative meaning of to be like a bull in a china shop is to be very clumsy, to be reckless. So in the way that one moves or behaves. So if I was a bull in a china shop at a party, it could be like I'm moving around and smashing into people. Sorry about the sun. Maybe I'll move across a little bit. The sun's going to get in your eyes. So you're moving around a lot and you're hitting people. You're clumsy. You're not very coordinated. So the literal meaning originates from at least the 1830s again. It's quite old, almost 200 years old. And the idea being that it's hard for a bull in a china shop to not break anything. So if you're like a bull in a china shop, you're incredibly clumsy. You're reckless. You're breaking stuff. So my grandparents might say this to me if, say, I was at their place, at their house, and I smash something accidentally. You know, imagine that I'm drinking out of something and I accidentally drop it and it breaks. They could say, Jesus, Pete, you're like a bull in a china store or a china shop. You're breaking things. You're clumsy. Number 5, holy cow. Holy cow. I do say this a little bit. This is probably slightly American. The figurative meaning is that it is said to express surprise. So if you're suddenly shocked by something, you might say, whoa, holy cow, holy cow. The literal meaning, again, this one's one of those expressions where it's uncertain. It's thought to have originated in the US, where it was said by a reporter named Hazley Hall in the 1900s. So aside from that, who knows where it comes from, but yeah, you might use this if you get shocked or surprised. If something happens that surprises you, you might say, whoa, holy cow, holy cow. Number 6, to hit the bullseye. To hit the bullseye. So the bullseye is literally the eye of the bull, but figuratively, a bullseye is the center of a target. So if you were at a firing range, whether you're using a bow and arrow or you're shooting, the bullseye is the very center of the target, the bullseye. And I guess it would be like, you would imagine that it would probably have originated from having a, hopefully not a live bull, but a dead bull, a skull of a bull, and aiming to try and shoot through the eye of the skull. So that was the bull's eye. So if you hit the bullseye, it means that you were incredibly accurate. So the figurative meaning would be that it's said when someone hits what they're aiming for. Or by extension, it's said in response to someone who makes an accurate statement. So if you say something that's incredibly accurate, that's correct, you might say, you hit the bullseye. You nailed it. You got it right. You are correct. You hit the bullseye. This is one that I've heard quite a lot. I would probably use every now and then, maybe, but I think more often than not, I would say nailed it, or you hit the nail on the head, as opposed to you hit the bullseye. But I would definitely understand this if I heard it. Number 7, bullshit. So here we get into the swearing. Bullshit. Bullshit is an expletive. So it is rude, it's relatively rude, it's not too bad. You can probably get away with this, especially with friends in informal situations. Bullshit. I would say this if I thought something was untrue or rubbish, garbage. So if someone said something to me and I completely disagreed and thought that they were either lying or what they said was wrong, I might say bullshit. I'm calling bullshit, meaning I'm saying that what you're saying is bullshit. I think you're wrong. I think you're definitely wrong. That's bullshit. I would probably, make sure you avoid using this in informal situations, but this is the kind of thing that's used all the time. I would use this all the time with friends. Bullshit. If something's bullshit, it's garbage, it's rubbish, it's not true, it's inaccurate. You would say it when you don't believe something. Bullshit. Number 8. A bullshit artist. So someone who is a bullshit artist is someone who lies a lot. Again, it's that same idea of something is bullshit, it's not accurate, it's not correct. If someone is a bullshit artist, it means that they are artful with bullshit. So you imagine they've got like a tin of bullshit, of poo from a bull, and they're painting with it. So it's someone who boasts or lies constantly, and it's almost hilarious. It's almost funny, the amount of lying that they do. So yeah, I would use that a lot. That's quite Australian. He's a bullshit artist, meaning yeah, he's full of it. He doesn't tell the truth. He's not very honest. Number 9, to be as strong as an ox. So an ox is a type of cow or a type of bull. It just means for something to be incredibly strong. So if you are as strong as an ox, you're incredibly strong. And this is based on an ox, which is a male cow, being used on farms to plough fields or to pull carts. They were always the really, really strong animal that would sort of plod along, taking care of the heavy lifting. So if you're as strong as an ox, you're incredibly strong. And you might also hear he's just as strong as a bull. He's as strong as an ox, he's as strong as a bull. I would definitely use this if I was talking about someone who was just incredibly, incredibly strong. Number 10, so this is the second last one, guys. Like a bull at a gate. Like a bull at a gate. Like a bull at a gate means to be incredibly impatient. So to do something rapidly, to do something haphazardly. So you're not very careful. You really want to get this thing done. And it would be like a bull sitting behind a gate. And so imagine on a farm there's a gate, and the gate is the thing that opens. And the bull is just trying to get through the gate by smashing it. It's just trying to get through. It wants to get to, say, the food on the other side. It's not going to wait for you to open the gate. It's a bull going at the gate by smashing into it. So that's what a bull at a gate is, like a bull at a gate. And this is an expression that my dad would always say to me as a kid when I was impatient. So if, for instance, I really wanted dinner and I was like, Dad, when's dinner? When's dinner? When's dinner? When are we going to eat? When are we going to eat? He might say, Pete, cut it out. You're acting like a bull at a gate. You're a bull at a gate. You're acting like a bull at a gate. Number 11, the final one before question time, guys. So we can go through this last expression and then you guys can ask me any questions about English, anything you want help with, or we can just chat. Remember to put the comments down below. So think about what you'd like to ask me now prior to me saying this one. And when we're done, we'll get into the questions. A cash cow. So this is number 11, a cash cow. A cash cow is something or someone that is a dependable source of income or profit. So for instance, okay, Aussie English. You guys know what Aussie English is. For me, it's my business. You know, it's a small project of mine that has a little bit of income. It helps me a little bit, but it isn't really a cash cow for me. If Aussie English all of a sudden started giving me thousands of dollars a day or, you know, millions of dollars a year, I could say Aussie English is my cash cow. So it is like a cow that makes me a lot of money. It would be like it's my cash cow. So something or someone that is a dependable source of income or profit. And I guess the idea would be that this idiom is a metaphor for a dairy cow, a cow that you milk to sell the milk and make money from that cow. And so a dairy cow would be a cash cow because you make money from the dairy. So that's it, guys. Have you got any questions about any of these expressions or about English in general? Any kind of questions at all, whether it's how to use these expressions, how to use some different expressions, how to use phrasal verbs, prepositions. James is back again. How are you going? Hey, Eduardo, how are you? Chuck your questions down in the comment section there, guys, and we can have a chat about anything that you are currently having trouble with. So, hit me up. Any questions, guys? Any questions? You'll have to let me know as well. Are you enjoying the live classes? Because I'm probably going to try and do more of these for you in the future on a regular basis. But I keep sort of giving it a random shot every now and then at the moment to work out which time of day is the best. So what do you think of 3 p.m, guys? I think there are quite a few less people here today than there were yesterday when I did it in the evening, but I thought I would give it a go today before I head to work. So, questions. What questions have you got? Thanks, Dipper Glad that I could help, mate. I hope you guys enjoy these expressions. I will put it up on YouTube and on the podcast so that you guys can listen to this later. And you'll have to let me know too if you enjoy listening to it later, whether it's watching it on YouTube I put down some of the titles so that you can find the expressions and see how they're spelt out as well. A bushranger, far out. So Dipian wants to know what a bushranger is. That's a relatively complicated question, but a bushranger would be someone, at least in Australia. I don't think it would be used in English-speaking countries in Europe or in the Americas, but it was the equivalent of an outlaw in Australia. So famous bushrangers in Australia, the most famous one would be Ned Kelly, and he was hanged in I believe the mid-1800s for having murdered several police officers with his gang. So his gang included a brother and 2 of his best friends. And you'll know this guy potentially from the movie, I think it was just called Ned Kelly, or Ned, from 2003 with Heath Ledger. And Ned Kelly was a really cool bushranger who's probably the most famous bushranger because he created armour for himself out of steel plating. So he created this armour that actually covered everything but his eyes, and he had this big sort of I don't even know what you would call it, but like a girdle around his chin that came down. He had a vest of metal, and it was over his legs and his groin as well, so that when the police shot him, it just bounced off the armour. And I think Ned Kelly had this huge final shootout in, I think it was southern New South Wales, in the bush there in one of the towns, and he got shot 29 times before he went down. So he got shot 29 times in the arms and the legs, then went down, was captured, the police took him back, and he was hanged, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your view. But a bushranger is effectively an outlaw. So these were guys who robbed people, who murdered people, who committed crimes in the, I guess, the post-settlement stages of colonisation in Australia. So this would have been the early 1800s until probably the mid to late 1800s in Australia, where I think quite often they were Irish, Scottish outlaws who just didn't get along with the police and were down on their luck and ended up running away because of a crime they committed, and then, yeah, things tended to get worse from there on out. How are you going, Emma? It would be better later. I know, you missed the first 8 idioms. I know. It'll be up on YouTube though, so don't worry. But what about everyone else watching? Have you guys got any more questions that you'd like answered? Anything else you want to know about English, about Australia, about prepositions, idioms, phrasal verbs? Put your comments down here, ask me your questions, and I am happy to answer them for the next 10 or 20 minutes if you guys want. What about you, Emma? Have you got any questions? What are you battling with at the moment, English-wise? Sorry about the sun, guys. While I was giving the talk, the sun here is coming through the window, and it's just slowly crept down, and it was in my eyes. I think if I come over the side here, you probably can't see it, but I had to move around. How are you going, Marcella? Have you guys got any questions about English? Now is your time to use me as a teacher. This is one-on-one, so you can ask away. Any questions you want, ask me in the comments below, guys. Go to town. You missed them all. All the expressions, you just said that you got the last 3. There was 11. How are you going, Tao? Glad you found the podcast and Facebook. So Dipian asks, is Australian English extracted from British English? I find there are quite a lot of similarities. So Australian English does originate from British English. We were colonised by the English. Australia was colonised by the English in the late 1700s. But interestingly enough, the English were not the first people to come to Australia. And to be fair, the Aboriginals were the first people to come to Australia. They got here between 60 and 50,000 years ago. So with regards to when Western people, Europeans, got to Australia, the Aboriginals smashed it out of the park. They've been here for tens of thousands of years. But with regards to being colonised by Europeans, there were actually Dutch people who came past Australia and managed to find Van Diemen's Land. So the bottom part of Australia where you've got Tasmania, that used to be called Van Diemen's Land. Tasmania, Van Diemen's Land, that was found by Dutch sailors, Dutch traders. And I was recently reading a book by Bill Bryson called, I believe it's called A Sunburnt Country. Let me look that up. Bill Bryson's Sunburned Country. And he talks about some of the history, in A Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson. I really recommend that book if you guys want to read about Australia. He talks about the history quite a lot in that book. And he mentions that there is actually this really weird story about a Portuguese cannon being found in, I think, northern Western Australia from the 1600s. So even before the Dutch people came past Australia and found some of Australia, because I don't think they actually really landed here and did much, they found Australia before the English, but before the Dutch people got here, the Portuguese must have gotten here somehow, but not actually settled. So there's quite a bit of cool stuff going on with regards to who found Australia after the Aboriginals. But so 1777, I believe, is when Captain Cook came and chucked the flag in Botany Bay and called Australia, the British Empire. So we've been colonised by the English since then. And in order to bring people out here, firstly, the funny thing is that the English lied. They lied about how nice the country was. So they settled around New South Wales, around Botany Bay near Sydney. And at the time, it was actually swamps, flies. It was pretty unpleasant, to be honest. And they went back to England and they said, this place is beautiful. You guys have got to come check this out. And the funny thing is that besides the fact that they said that, we had a few captains come with boats, but they had to bring prisoners. And so something funny that happened in England was, in order to bring people to Australia to colonise it, they forced all of these prisoners to come. So they found all of these people who would have otherwise been hanged. And as well, they made all of these crimes like stealing bread and, things that were pretty much benign kind of crime. They made them punishable by death, or you could go to the colony. So they sent all these people out to Australia who were prisoners. And that's why Australia is, I think, one of the only places in the world, if not the only place, to be founded by criminals. And that is that sort of long-going joke with America and Britain, is that Australia is a jail full of criminals. So what are some of the questions here? What's the best way to keep oneself warm in Melbourne? I know, use the heater. You got to use the heater and wear a lot of layers. I've actually got 2 pairs of socks on because I'm freezing. All right, let's see. Can I type the name of the book? It's called In a Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson. So, Bill, let's see if I can type this in for you guys. Bryson is his name. Is it coming through? There we go. Bill Bryson. Search him and look for Sunburned Country. The Aussie accent is pretty attractive. And why is that, Dipian? Is it just easier to understand, or why do you like the Aussie accent? I mean, I like it, but I'm biased, so I have to like it. Any other questions, guys? Is there anything else I can help you guys with English-wise before I disappear and get ready for work? So I thought I would come out today and chat to you, talk to you about 11 different cow idioms that are used. I'll make sure I link that in the description above when I've finished. because it's a post on the website, so you can go and check that out if you want. But until then, feel free to ask me any kinds of questions regarding Australia or English in general that you would like me to tackle. So I could take the bull by the horns and help you if you have any significant problems with English at the moment that you want help with. Or are you just listening and trying to practice your listening comprehension? Make sure you say g'day as well, guys. I know there's 11 of you watching at the moment, so put in a comment below. Where are you guys from? What do you do? What's making you learn English? Feel free to chat to me, guys, so I'm not just talking to myself. Anyone? Anyone? Let's see. Scroll down. What's on for your day, guys? What are you guys up to currently, apart from obviously watching me chat to you? And the sun's just come out. Look at this. The sun's come out. You're a graphic designer. Whereabouts, Chris? Where are you based? And what got you into graphic design? What made you decide to be a graphic designer? Maybe I'll switch around. Let's find a better angle away from all this. Pete, I know the aim of this channel is talking Aussie English, but could you make phrases, greetings? Yeah, what car? Oh, let's see if I can just settle down a little bit here so that you can maybe see me a bit better. Ah, the Sunshine Coast. Nice. Ah, Dipian. So whereabouts are you from, Dipian? Is that India or Sri Lanka? Is that why you're really into cricket? Yeah, it definitely is. I agree with you there, Chris. Art is amazing. I love fiddling around on Photoshop and doing the art for Aussie English, although it is relatively, it's not professional, but it's good fun all the same. Ah. Hello to everyone who's watching from India. So any other questions, guys, regarding English? Anything else that I can help you guys with before I disappear and go to work? What do you guys think of the moustache? I've got a little, it's been cold this winter, so I've been growing my beard out and I keep curling my moustache up. I'm going to try and do a full loop. I think, try and get it all the way around, you know, just to look a bit strange. Photoshop is amazing. So Emma wants to know if I can do a episode on phrases, greetings, and linking words. I might actually do some stuff on linking words in the near future because I was doing that in one of the private lessons that I do. One of my students, Monica, actually, I think it was last night, was asking me a lot about linking. So we're practicing that, and there's quite a lot of it in English. I think it's the same in every language, but when it's your native language, you often don't realize that you link everything really, really well, really fluidly, and then to learn it in another language, you have to pay so much attention to being able to do that. So I'm definitely going to try and do that in the future, but I think I'll try and tackle that by reading something myself, like a little bit of text, and then sort of talking about how I'm linking the different words in that text, because it's one of the myself, and then try and work it out. What is going on? Video mode only. Still getting the hang of this, guys, so forgive me. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. So any other questions, guys, before I go? Can I help you with anything else English-wise? Any other connections playing up? Hopefully it's going okay. Don't clean your stash. I think that the connection is playing up, guys, so I might call it a day and finish up there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and make sure that this gets up on the podcast as soon as possible. And I'll try and find a regular time where I can do these episodes. Let me know in the comments what sort of time suits you. Is early afternoon time better? Do you prefer evening, late night? I know that most of you are in Australia, but yeah, let me know.